Hello, happy Thursday. Or no, it is not Thursday. Oh my goodness, happy Tuesday. Welcome, whether you are watching over on YouTube or if you're watching here on Instagram. Hello, I am Tatiana. I am the CEO of the Inspired Blueprint and very excited for today's live. This is my first live in a really long time, and I'm just really excited to share some things with you all today. But first, just wanted to share a little bit of encouragement and just an update on me personally, just kind of what I've been going through over the last couple of months, and hoping that, just my transparency will be able to just encourage someone else that might be going through something similar. And so, um, again, hello, as you guys are getting on. I have been in business and entrepreneurship and different things since about 2015. And it started off as one business called the Stationary Muse, which many of you may have been familiar with at one time. And it's pivoted to different things. And now it is the Inspired Blueprint. I've gone from just doing products to then I was coaching for a little bit and still doing products. And now I am getting back into fully doing some really fun products and different things like that. But in the midst of all of this, there's been a lot of seasons in life where I have felt unmotivated for different reasons. Sometimes it could be due to a feeling of failure of some sort. Sometimes it could just be due to a lot of life happening at once and just feeling like I couldn't quite grasp exactly what it was. But I really learned that for me personally, my business is a true testament to who I am as a person, and it's also a really big part of my purpose. And so when that is the case, when you're doing something that you're trying to make an impact, you're trying to encourage people and different things, that can take a lot out of you, right? That can definitely pull from you. As much as you pour, it can pull from you. And so I've had those ebbs and flows over the years. It has what felt like a roller coaster in some ways. And that's a little bit what I wanted to talk about. And so this more recent roller coaster, I guess you could say, was me and my family recently moved from where we were living for the last almost 6, 7 years in New Mexico, and we moved to South Carolina, which is where we are now. And with all of the amazing benefits that come from that move, it also came with a lot of mixed emotions. Once you kind of have gotten used to a certain way things are, it can be really hard to transition, and to be open to change. And even though we were praying for us to be able to move and be closer to family, in a lot of ways, we really got used to life as we knew it, right? And so I didn't anticipate how much of a shift that would be within myself as I was working through this change. And so we moved in May of this year. And I thought I was just going to kind of hit the ground running and get right back into things. And I had all these big plans. The podcast was supposed to be coming back. I had some products lined up. I have the Inspired Blueprint membership. I was doing some coaching, and all of these different things were going on top of just my regular life things. And I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm all of these different things and so much more. So many things I want to do, even in addition to that. And it's like, okay, where does all of this fit in? And so what ended up happening is I hit kind of a bit of a wall, I would say a few weeks after we moved in, and I realized that I needed to take a step back and just kind of reassess exactly what it was that I wanted and what I didn't want. Because sometimes in certain seasons, things can feel like they're perfect for us, like they make sense. And then in other seasons, it just feels like you are trying to fit the wrong piece of a puzzle into this bigger puzzle, right? Like you have this piece and you keep trying to jam it in there, and for some reason it's not fitting like it used to. And so with the break that I ended up taking, the inevitable time away, I realized that there were some things that I was still kind of just going with emotions and doing, but I didn't necessarily find as much joy in them as I used to. There were some things that I had kind of let fall to the wayside in a lot of ways, and I'm like, no, I actually enjoy that and I miss that. And so if you ever are feeling unmotivated in any area, even if it's not a business, but in any avenue of life where maybe once you found joy in it and now for some reason it's feeling very difficult or whatever the case is, I really think sometimes stepping away is best. And I know it can come off and feel like, oh, like I'm failing or I'm giving up or I should know what I want to do, right? I should know myself. I should know these things. But the reality is we are always changing. And we could wake up one day and we could think that this is our reality and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And then things can shift, and in an instant, now you have no interest in it anymore, or whatever the case may be. And so I just wanted to share that encouragement with you, because that has been what I've been going through over the last just really like 6 months or so, 4 to 6 months. And with that, one of the things that I realized was how much I missed products. When I first started my business back in 2016 officially, I had my stationery business and I was making all of these fun products and everything. And the last couple of years, I really got away from that, because the focus shifted from me trying to build and grow my business and all of these products I was trying to do to now I want to help others. And while I enjoy that and it's so much fun and I really do get so much fulfillment out of being able to help other women to succeed and do the things that they've been wanting to do for their own businesses, I can't help but feel like I was missing my own, and so I feel like for the last almost 3 years, my personal business has taken a bit of a back seat, and I realized how much I was missing it. And so this quarter is really kind of the kickoff to that. I have a lot of really big plans and things that I'm working on, but I'm really going to ease into it. I'm going to be documenting and sharing along the way, because I want to show you that even if you do have a lot of different things going on, even if you're carrying the weight of so many different roles that you have, you can still make your dreams happen. But sometimes we have to do it in a way of pacing ourselves. And I'm laughing because the last quarter in the membership was called Pace Over Perfection. And pace, just really meaning that you don't have to do it all right now in order to feel like you are being successful. Like, there are a lot of things that I could do in this moment and I could be like, yes, I checked off all 20 of these things on my list, but how run down would I feel? And so that has been the reality of what I've been trying to figure out. And I'm excited that I finally have been coming back and being on YouTube. So for those of you that are here over on Instagram, if you're not following me, I am on YouTube as well. And I vlog over there. I share a lot of the behind the scenes of the business. And I got back on YouTube about a month ago at this point. And so it's been nice to be back and just slowly dipping my toes in. YouTube is definitely my favorite platform of all. And so I always feel like whenever I take breaks or step away, that's always the first place that I kind of like peek into. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to kind of come back a little bit. And now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to share some of the things that I've been thinking about and working on. And so I actually did a little bit of a peek last week. last week. And I was sharing about this little baby right here. So I wanted to flip through this today because I have some planners that are going to be launching next week. So there are 2 different types of planners that you'll be able to get. Today we're going to be going through the daily planner, and then in a few days you will be seeing a flip through of the weekly planner. So what's nice about this is this gives you the option to kind of choose your planning style. And the weekly planner is going to be very similar to what I've released in the past. It is a true business planner. It's undated. It's 6 months. I'll definitely share more of that soon. But what I'm loving about this daily planner is I designed this one in a way to where it's really for someone who has a lot going on. They love daily planning. They're looking for just a planner that they can use for everything. And they happen to have a business, or they happen to have something on the side, like a side hustle that they're trying to grow. That is how the daily planner is designed. And so you'll see once I start flipping through the pages kind of how that comes into play. But that is kind of what you can expect. And so the reason for this is because I'm such a daily planner at heart, and I really missed daily planning with just kind of the style of what I wanted it to be. And so that is kind of how this was birthed and created. And it takes me back because when I first started the Stationary Muse back in 2016, before I pivoted and all of those things, one of my very first products was daily planner inserts, and they were for A5 planning style. But it was just one of my favorite things I created, and then that was kind of it. I had it for a little while. I think I sold it for a couple of years, and then I never revisited daily, even though I absolutely love daily planning. And so to do this, I feel like it's just such a full circle to come back to something that kind of started it all, and still just staying true to this brand that I'm building. So you're going to see, I actually shared the covers as well last week. I have this little paper, so it's kind of hard to see. They're a little small, but I'll hold it over here first. These are the different cover options that you'll be able to get for either of the planner styles. So again, there will be weekly and daily. And so this one right here is actually called the Inspire Print. It's so pretty. It's the most colorful one. Definitely has all of the colors in just one spot right here. And it's so smooth, y'all. So these planners are all handmade by me with love. And they are just filled with so much goodness, so much intention to really help you get out of your own way. Like, if I can't stress it enough, my brand is all about helping you to get out of your own way, and whatever that looks like. It's different for everybody. You know, some people are going to do that in terms of starting a business. Some people are going to do that and just simply like finally letting go of the excuses and doing the things you want to do. I am here to encourage and tell you that you can build a life that you love. And even on days, for me, as someone who encourages and shares these messages, I don't always feel like that, right? That's just the human aspect of it. We all go through these seasons where we feel unmotivated, like I was saying earlier in this live. And so the whole point of these products and these things that I'm creating is to help you in those moments where you are feeling lack of motivation, lack of excitement, lack of confidence within yourself, to know that you can get out of your own way. You can make this happen. I have always wanted to make planners, and so despite the pivots I've made and the pauses I've had and just the doubts that I've had within myself, I'm like, no, I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to make this dream happen, and I'm going to do it in the best way that I know how. And so I'm just really excited. So the planners will be launching on Tuesday, October 24th. So that is next week. And all of the specific details as far as prices and the details of like how long it'll take for you to get it and everything will be shared very, very soon. Everything is still very much in the works. And a lot of that is just to be candid. As I said, I took a break, y'all, okay? And I took a true break. So that was me really giving my mind a chance to rest and not work through things. And so this launch is a little bit later than I would have wanted to do. But at the same time, I really just wanted to be honest, so I'm working on the details and everything, but they're coming. And so if you're wondering, like, as I'm flipping through, like, okay, how much is it? Like, girl, I will be able to tell you soon. But because I am making these by hand and I'm really trying to do these in a different way, the price point I think is going to be really, really good compared to how it's been in past planners. So for that, I'm very excited. And so now I'm actually going to flip the camera around. It's going to take me a second to just get this up. But really quick, let me read these two comments. Oh, I got some comments. Hold on. Let me see. Hey, Jaleesa. Hey, Shalina. Yes. Thank you so much. And then Dragonfly Love Creation said, I was going to ask if you were going to make your own. I have watched your past videos to get inspiration to make my first journal. Yes, definitely do it. Hey, Leslie. Definitely make your first journal. I think before I flip it over, this is the one thing that I will say, because I talked about this on my Instagram story. I think it was maybe like not last week, but the week before. So these planners are made by hand. And this was something that I did for the very first time in 2020. Like I said, I always wanted to make planners. It's been a dream of mine for years, okay? And so when I decided to do this, I initially went into this process thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get these things manufactured by a company and, all of these things. And so as I started reaching out, trying to get all the information, things just were not working out. It was either I didn't have enough money to invest in the amount that people were wanting me to purchase for these minimum order quantities, or they didn't have exactly what I was looking for. And then I kind of had moments where I wanted to add certain things to it, but I wouldn't have been able to do that if I got like a large quantity. And so then I shifted my gears to like, I'm not giving up. I said I was going to launch this planner in 2020, which was a crazy year in itself already. And so I shifted gears to doing it handmade. And so that was really what changed the game for me. And so I just encourage you that if you are trying to do something in one way, and it's feeling like, you've had to backtrack. Because for me, obviously I would love to have this humongous warehouse and I would love to have this big team and not have to sit here and do these by hand. But at the same time, I'm like, no, this is something that started it all for me. This is helping me to live my dream of creating planners. And it allows for me to do something like this, simply my hands, I'm making this and I'm being able to give it to the different people that need it in the seasons that they're in. And so for that, I'm grateful. And it's all about just kind of restructuring how I feel in terms of what success looks like. And that can be hard sometimes, you know, when you feel like you might be backtracking, or if you took a break. Like for me, I pivoted and kind of really shied away from my products for a bit. Like I was not really diving into them as much as I was. And for that, I have to look at myself and be like, okay, well, girl, you know, you kind of took a break. You know, we got to come back. We got to ease into this thing and we'll be able to level up. But it can be so easy to be hard on yourself. And so my biggest piece of advice to get through all of what I was saying is to create your own lane, basically. You know, if you are doing the research, things aren't necessarily panning out how you thought, it's frustrating, you're running into roadblocks, create your own lane. And for me, that looked like making my planners by hand. You know, is it glamorous? No. But does it get the job done? And is it helping me to get closer to my goal? Yes, it is. And so creating your own lane might look different for you, but, you know, take it from my own experience. I've documented this over the last, I guess, basically 3 or 4 years of, you know, just sometimes you have to create it and it may not always look how you thought it would. Like when I think like, oh, I would have my own planner company one day, I'm seeing something way different than what it is right now. But it's like when you are able to still look at the success that you've created and look at what you are able to achieve, that is all that matters. It doesn't have to look picture perfect. It doesn't have to look like what the person over there is doing. But as long as you are showing up and you're doing exactly what you need to do, you know, where God has you and all of these things, it starts to fall into place. And so with all of that to be said, I'm very excited to share with you all these daily planner pages. So I'm going to flip it around. It's going to take me a little bit to flip this. So I'm going to, oh, you know what? I just thought about Instagram. Can you even see me? Or not Instagram. I don't even think y'all can see me on YouTube this whole time. I'm sorry, y'all. I had the little cover thing on. I'm going to put it back on for a second so that I can flip it around. But no biggie. It was just me sitting here chatting. So I'm going to do this. Let me see. Create your own lane. Yes, definitely. Thank you for sharing your story and journey. This is inspiring and needed. Create your own lane. Yes, you have to, because I think sometimes it's like, it could just be easy to give up, right? And it's like, no, I'm not going to give up. If this is something I said I want to do, if it's not working this way, I'm going to figure out another way to make it happen. Okay, so I did not realize that that was covered over on YouTube, but we're okay. So I'm going to put that back up for a second so y'all aren't seeing me shifting around. And then y'all can just hang tight here on Instagram, and then I will flip it over so that we can look at the pages together. But Crafty Budgeter said, you are dropping gems. Everything you are saying is exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you. You are so welcome. So welcome. I'm so glad you were able to get on. This is funny because this time of day is not really what I thought would be a good time for when people would be on. But my daughter, I'm homeschooling her now. And so she's home with me. Like, life is looking so different. And that's what I was saying, like, where, you know, when you're trying to fit a puzzle piece that was working in one season, but it's not working in the new one, you know, like, life is very different. And so I've been trying to figure out new ways to do things. And so one of those things was trying to figure out, like, okay, well, when do I go live? And all of that. So it's all about just changing perspective and trying to figure things out. Okay. So I think we have this up. But I really appreciate you all being on here with me. And that is so funny that, that is so funny about YouTube. Y'all, I promise that I'm not crazy. I promise I'm not. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and flip this around. Let me make sure we can see this. Move this little cord out of the way. And then we're going to look at these pages. So as I mentioned, this is a daily planner, and it is 6 months. So let me see if this is going to be upside down on here, because I might have to go around. Okay, so you guys are upside down, so I'm going to actually move to the other side here in a minute, and then we'll get started. But again, this is the cover. It's called the Inspire print. It's so pretty. And then everybody on YouTube, let me know if you're having any issues seeing or anything. Make sure you're actually on this time. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, can you guys see on YouTube? Let me know. Okay, you can see it? Okay, good. This is definitely a little bit cray-cray, but we're going to make it work. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to do a quick flip through of this, and then I will let you all be on your way. So we have the cover. As I mentioned, there are 6 different covers that you can get. Let me flip you all around too. So I'll first start with that. There's different covers available. So we have Committed to the Call. We have our Teal CEO, the Blush CEO, Sand Bun Girl, the Lavender Bun Girl, and then we also have this Inspire print. So let me know, what is your favorite one from what you're seeing? Drop it in the comments. I don't know. I feel like I'm always torn. I feel like I always want Bun Girl to be on everything, and that's my problem. I never get anything different because I just love Bun Girl. But I do also really like this Inspire print, which is one of the reasons why I did it as this kind of one I wanted to show you all. Committed to the Call is really close to my heart. That's actually the theme in the membership right now. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not sure what I'm loving that much. Okay, so, but yeah, let me know. What's your favorite? Drop it in the comments. Okay, so this is the one we're going to be going through. I do want to just point out that this is the very first one, so there are a couple of imperfections in this one. This one I wanted to just make so we could get something going. You know, again, pace over perfection, right? And so because of that, it's not perfect. So I'll mention if there's something that'll be different in the final one. And also Instagram, I apologize. It keeps saying that there's a poor connection and it's pausing. So I don't know what else to do. Definitely go over on YouTube if you want to see the uninterrupted live stream. Okay, so we got Lavender Bun Girl, Committed to the Call, and Inspire print. Yes, love the vibrant colors. Committed to the Call. Love it. All right, so let's get into it. So first thing, we have this front page here. And on here, it is just basically your basic, this planner belongs to type of situation here. Like I mentioned, it is a 6-month undated daily planner. So that just kind of gives you an idea. And this particular print has this little kind of like peachy blush inside on it. And we got a little pop of color, nothing too crazy, but just like a little pop of color on there. Okay, and then over here is just a little intro page, and there will be a QR code that'll be right here. So that's one of the things that's not in this example. But the QR code will basically lead you to just some more resources and things. It'll be a growing page to help you just use the planner, print off extra pages and things like that. We have thoughts and reflections. And then we have the brain dump. And a lot of these things, if you are a previous user of any of my planners, then you already know some of these beginning pages. They've just kind of been revamped and refreshed a bit for this update. And I mentioned this in case if you're getting on late. The daily planner was designed to basically be for someone to use as your general planner for the year, but you happen to have a business or you happen to have something on the side that you're doing. And so I really wanted to intentionally not make this one super business heavy, but business stuff is definitely mentioned. So, you know, even on here it's saying like list out possible projects, tasks, ideas, ventures, upcoming events, releases, and plans floating around in your mind. And so just gives you some extra prompts on what to do. This is the yearly overview page. So of course, just a place to kind of jot down what you have planned for the year. And give you just a place. Of course, it may change, right? But just, you know, we all go into with the best of intentions of what we want to do for the year. And then we have my vision. And so this is just basically like what you think the next 6 months will look like. Really making it your best season yet is essentially what it is. So, you know, what is your biggest accomplishment that you want to have? How will you leave an impact in the next 3 years? Also, you're thinking about the future, and then how you're creating a legacy. That's a big thing here at the Inspire Blueprint, is the legacy that we leave. And then also creating your Inspire life. If you attended the vision board party we had last year, then you've heard about the Inspire year, your Inspire life. And so this is just some prompts to get you thinking about how to really make the next 6 months, or however long you use this planner, because it's undated, so it might be more than 6 months. But just how to walk that out. And then we have our defining consistency page. So I'm big on consistency. With any goal we have, we need to make sure we're being consistent with it. And so I kind of give you some ideas and really get you brainstorming how you can make that happen. And then another page to really plan out what you want your focuses to be for the next 6 months. All right, and then we have setting up for success. So defining, what success is going to look like for you, and then figuring out how you can actually implement that on different days of the week. So I call these theme days. The ladies in the membership will be familiar with this, but I'm really big on creating theme days. In a sense, kind of like calendar blocking, but just really like, okay, on Mondays I do this, and different things. And then we have a prioritizing me page, because I feel like in order to be your best self for anything you do, you have to make sure that you are prioritizing yourself and whatever that looks like for you. So we have that page. And then income goals, again, I kept it general, so you can use this for any type of income you have. It doesn't have to necessarily just be your business, but any type of streams of income you have a place to plan that out. And then we have our monthly tracking. So many things you can track, depending on what you have going on in the mix. We have the quarterly blueprint. I love quarterly planning, so I was excited to add this in here. So we have just a place to plan out what the next 90 days will look like, projects and different things. And then you can actually break those down further and figure out, what the milestones are going to be for each project, the tasks, and all of those things. You have a total of 6 places to do that. Then we get into a little dot grid, so you just have a place to put that on there. Or if you want to just pretty much a dot grid, you can use it for whatever. Some people are always like, well, what do I put here? But really anything. It could just be a place for you to jot down extra notes about the quarter. It could be a place for you to think about what's going to be happening for the upcoming month. You could use it as like a reflection page to just, put pictures or stickers or different things. It's kind of like the sky's the limit with what you can do with this page. I typically use it as just an extra page to take notes. And then over here we have the month. So the month is going to be undated, as I mentioned, and you have a place to just put down how you're going to challenge yourself. What are you launching, growing, or creating this month? How will you rest? What will you be looking into? And how will you be consistent? We have the monthly blueprint. Let me see. Is the camera unfocused? Trying to focus it back for you guys. There we go. Okay, so then we have the monthly blueprint right here and some projects. So you have plenty of space. Like, there would be no reason why you cannot figure out, like how to break things down and plan them out. Like, I'm giving you so much space, so then that way you can think through everything intentionally and really work through, like, okay, how am I going to make this happen? And then there's always a place to put a due date as well, and then you can carry that out through your month on 2 pages. I have this little checklist over here. It says time to rest, change of environment, a CEO day, and then also doing something fun. So just some little reminders to kind of do throughout the month. And then we have this week. So this is what the new weekly. So it's kind of, I feel like it is in some ways an all-in-one planner, because you still do have weekly pages. So you kind of have this week kickoff page is what I'm calling it. And you have a spot to put, what are your priorities for the week? I put content plans here, but actually on the final one, it's going to say intentions for the week, I believe is what it's going to be saying on the final one. So again, you can use it for content for my business owners out there, but you can also use it for meals or workouts or whatever you want it to be. And then we have this little consistency matters box right here, and that kind of carries over from the consistency page that was in the beginning, but you can track all types of things, whether it's how much water you're drinking or going live or posting online, whatever it may be. You have a spot for that, some inspiration, project tasks, and all of that. And then we also have this other page for you to write down any appointments or just different things that are happening for the week. And then this is the daily pages, you guys. So every day we'll have a page like this. So you have your 3 focuses for the day. And then you have, you can see my camera or my phone, I apologize for that. You have your 3 focuses for the day. And then you also have your project tasks, so breaking those down, as well as you have a little today box, so just whatever you want to put there. And then you have a time from 6 a.m. all the way to 10 p.m. to just jot down anything that's happening throughout the day. And that's actually for every single day of the week. And then when you get to the weekend, it's shared on 2. And really the only thing that's missing from the weekend one is I took off this part right here, the schedule, but you have room where you can write it in the today spot or anything like that. And so then after that, it starts over. You have, or after that, I'm sorry, it doesn't start over. You have one more thing. You have an additional place to plan out for really the week. So this is just some to-do lists. I know me, I'm a lists girl, so I always like to just jot down lists, and sometimes I need a different list for different categories. And so you have 3 different category lists, as well as just a blank open box to put whatever it is that you might be thinking about. I'm thinking I might even use this sometimes for possibly planning out just different things going on for the week, whether that might be like if it's meal planning going on, or sometimes it might be something business related, you know, maybe I'm planning out some launch stuff. So it could really vary for what you want to put there. And then over here we have this week was. So I really think reflection is important, and so this just gives you a chance to look back at how the week went. Where did joy come from? What did you learn? How did you rest? Got a couple of extra blank boxes for yourself too. Defining success. So what does success look like for you this week? Because from week to week it can look different. Like, you know, one week you might feel like, oh, I'm a boss, you know, I'm doing all these things, and then the next week success might be like, okay, I got dinner on the table, right? So either way, figuring out what that was, and then what are some additional weekly wins that you have, just some things that you want to remember and look back on. What needs improvement, and then what is the financial recap. So just thinking through like how much money you made, especially if you do have like a side hustle or just any additional streams of income. You have a place where you can kind of come and tally that up at the end of the week, and then it starts over and you get right back to kind of like this weekly kickoff page that I'm calling it, and then it just continues. So that is basically the planner. I don't know if anyone has any questions or anything, and I apologize, Instagram, it keeps getting like paused for some reason, so hopefully you all were able to see at least some of it. I have to go back and see how much came through. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm glad you like the daily pages. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite parts. I love how it's just simple, you know. I didn't want to make it too much going on. It's just enough for you to be like, okay, get to the point. You know, it's not a lot of trying to figure it out, and then you can just get straight to exactly what it is that you need to do for the day. And I think my favorite part too, outside of the dailies, I really just like this section here, because it just gives you an overview of your week. So you technically do have a weekly planner within this daily, which is nice. And then that way you kind of get the best of both worlds. And so this happens for 3 months. And then when we get to that 3-month mark, let me see right here, we have the quarterly blueprint one more time. So you get one more of these to plan out the next quarter, and then you have your plans by month, and you get to plan out those projects again for the quarter, and then we start over again with this right here. And this is another one of those, and actually I have a vlog going up tomorrow, so you'll see why I talk about this on my YouTube, but this is one of those things that will not be in the final. So yeah, that is basically the planner. And then in the back, the very, very back, there's just one extra page back here, and it is the celebrate and recap. So this is just a place for you to think back on some things you want to remember from the year and that you would love to just recap on, right, and celebrate. So it could be different moments or wins you had, something exciting happened. All that can be documented here. So then when you finish up this planner, you get ready to go to the next one, you have a place you can come back and really look at all of the amazing things that you did. So that is that. I'm going to flip Instagram back around. Y'all, again, I don't know why the connection is so unstable, but what can we do? And then everybody on YouTube, what did you think? What did you guys think? What is your overall thoughts on the planner? It's very detailed. Thank you. I would say hopefully that's good. Yeah, no, I really wanted to make sure that it was very thought out, because just for so many years when you use planners and you design planners and things, you kind of know what works and what doesn't work. And so I really wanted to think through it and really create something amazing. So I'm excited for it. As I shared earlier, they will be launching on Tuesday next week, so the 24th, All of the details as far as the time, the prices, and all of those different things, those will be shared with you very, very soon, as I'm just finalizing a couple of details before I announce everything. But they're so dope. I'm excited to get one. Thank you. Yes. I love it too. I definitely added some fun design elements. I was like, let me have a little more fun with this. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all getting on with me. Does anyone have any questions about anything? And even if it's not about the planner, just about even what we were talking about earlier about lack of motivation, or just, creating your own lane or anything like that. I'm happy to stay on for a couple more minutes before I go. Let's see. Love the simplicity and the details at the same time. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's one of my favorite. I love just clean design, and I love for people to just have the ability to kind of create what they want it to look like versus, like me kind of telling you, and so that's why it's very simple. Ronitska, I'm very excited for this. I love daily planning. Since I finished my business planner, I feel like I'm a mess. I can't wait to I know. Yeah, I know you reached out. I'm like, we in between launches and stuff. So yeah, definitely excited for that. And as I mentioned, there will still be the one that if you saw from last year, the weekly one is still coming back. So if you're kind of like, okay, the daily is cool, but it's a little bit too much for me, or whatever, or you just don't like it, you really want to just stick with weekly, the weekly one will be coming back. But what I will actually share with you, you kind of already saw the weekly a little bit. It is that weekly kickoff page. That is the new layout of the weekly. So as you can see right here, this page in here, the one that has this like priorities and stuff on this page, and then the breakdown of the days over here. Let me get a little bit closer. This is what each week will look like in the new weekly. So you can kind of get a feel of basically what that is for sure. Let me see. Shalina said it is a 6.5 by 9 is the size of the pages. Love the prior planners and love this as well, especially for daily life and business purposes. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. It kind of just like fills the gap in a little bit, I think, because sometimes even like I use my weekly every week, for my business and stuff. But sometimes I'm like, man, I just want to like write down all my stuff in the one spot. Or sometimes I really just want to do a daily plan and it's not in there. And so that was kind of why this was birthed. And yeah, let's see. I know Amazon is less expensive way to go to use print on demand. Do you have a list of other manufacturers? Yes, I actually have in the Inspire Blueprint course suite, there is a course called the Planner and Notebook, the Planner Bootcamp. Pretty sure it's called the Planner Bootcamp. And in there, it's a walkthrough of not only how to design whatever it is, whether it's a planner or a journal, but you also have a walkthrough of a ton of different manufacturers. I think there's 8 different manufacturers that I share about in that course. Some of them are US based, some of them are overseas, and it just kind of walks you through everything you need to know in order to do that process. So yeah, definitely check it out. Amazon is of course affordable, but you are a little bit limited when it comes to just the styles and things that they have. But I think it's a great alternative. Again, especially like I was saying, if you are getting hung up, if something is not making sense, if you're not able to figure out one way to make something work, like if Amazon has to be the way to go right now in the season, like go for it and still do it. Don't allow these things to stop you, because you can always make changes later. You can always grow and do something different at a later time, but it's all about just going for it in the way that you can. Let's see. If so, where can I purchase this? Yeah, it is. It's build.theinspireblueprint.com. I can definitely, let me see. Actually, I can pin the comment for you. Let me just try to grab it on my computer really quick. Do you have stickers? Okay, so yeah, that's actually a good question. So one thing I will share that's going to be happening that's kind of exciting is next month. So in November, I will be having another launch taking place, and this is going to be kind of what I'm calling like the accessories and the fun stuff launch. So this first launch is just going to be planners. There are some things in the shop, so those things will still be there, but as far as new stuff, the planners are the only thing launching on Tuesday. It's a pre-order, so you will see that it's not like you're going to get the planner. It's not like Amazon, so you're not going to be getting the planner the next day. So you'll see that there'll be a timeline and everything. And for anyone that purchases the planner, let me see if this works. Okay, there's the link to where you can find the all of the courses and everything that are available, but the one you're looking for will be the Planner Bootcamp, Planner Notebook Bootcamp, or Planner Bootcamp. But yeah, anyone that purchases, you will actually get a coupon that you'll be able to use in November for all of the products that are going to be launching accessories wise. So stickers will be coming back. There will be a very small first launch of stickers. If you were following me years ago, I had sticker crazy, so many sticker options. So stickers are going to be coming back, but it's going to be very eased into it. I'm going to have some business ones. There's going to be some more lifestyle ones. So those will be coming in November for that launch, as well as pouches and some new Bun Girl items and a couple of other fun accessories that can go with the planner. So, you purchase your planner, you get that on lock, make sure you have it, and then you'll be able to purchase accessories to go with the planner and all of that fun stuff. So that will definitely be coming in November, and a lot of details will definitely be shared about that soon. What was the lead time it took you to roll out your first product? Well, the time of me getting out of my head, that was like probably a year, honestly. But as far as the actual product itself, I think it's hard to say. I know it took me probably about a few months to make the design. I started out by just sketching it out first, because I started with the planner inserts, as I mentioned. So I sketched out how I wanted them to look on just regular paper, and I really played around with that for a couple of months, just with myself, to see how I liked it and everything. I learned how to use InDesign, and that took a little bit of time to, learn that program for the first time. And then luckily for me, I was making them myself. So there was a printing company in the place that I worked, and I basically just hooked up with the guy in there. As far as, like, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm trying to do this business, can you help me? Like, can you print these things for me? Because basically, like, I worked in a university, and so the stuff that they did was basically for the university, and it was kind of like I was asking to do this personal job. And so he was like, oh yeah, I got you. So we worked together on that, and he helped me to really get those first sets printed, and it was great quality. And then I ended up investing in a heavy duty paper cutter, so I was able to cut them down to size myself. So I mean, honestly, if you're not really counting like the design time, but just literally like me making them, I mean, just a couple of days from me placing the order at the printing company, them telling me it's ready, and then me taking it home and cutting them down, punching the holes in them for the A5, and then that was basically it. So that wasn't too long, but I think the biggest time frame with it was the design time, just making sure I really liked it and playing around with it. And I always suggest that for anyone, like, if you are doing something like this, take some time with it, play around with it. Like, if you can, get a test group. It could just be some friends, have them try it out. You try it out yourself for a little bit, so that you can make sure you really do like it. Because there's been times, where I have in the past, I'm like, oh, let me just create something. I'm like, oh, but I wish I would have done it this way, or this actually would have been better like this. And so I love to play around with my stuff for multiple weeks, if not months, if I can, to really see if I like it. Let's see. How much market research did you do before launching, and were you more focused on competing with others' prices, or just making sure you offered something new and different? Happy to see you. Thank you. Is it Miss Tyler Simone? Thank you so much. Yes, definitely did a ton of research. I did the whole like SWOT analysis thing. So, the strengths, weaknesses, the opportunities and threats. I learned that back in college. So that was something I did early on. And yes, I definitely did look at other people's prices, because I wanted to make sure I was competitive, but I also wanted to make sure I wasn't undercharging or overcharging, And so it is good, I think, to see what other people are charging, but just keep in mind that you can still, again, create your own lane. You can still price things to how you see fit. And so if you feel like I'm creating a luxury brand and I want to charge as such, then, definitely do so. But basically, yeah, I did do that. And as far as, was I focused on making something new or different? I think it's a little bit of both. I always look at, like, what are the actual costs? And then from there, I'm able to determine about how much I can charge to where I still will be able to make some type of profit from it, where it's not too much for my customers. And I have a pretty good idea of, like what is a good price range for things what people are willing to pay, just based off of doing this for so many years, but also just kind of seeing, what's been out there. So that is basically what I did. And that would be my biggest piece of advice for you. Definitely do the research, but don't allow that to get you hung up on anything. Like, you can always change the prices later, if you have to. If you end up it being too much, or if you feel like, oh, I've been doing a lot of work, like I need to charge a little bit more, like it's kind of part of that learning process. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple more questions and probably get off of here in about 10 minutes or so. Let me see. Oh, yes, I love the pouches too, Shalina. They are some of my faves. I actually have some of them in here, but there was a little bit of an issue with them, so I need to get them remade again, and then I'll be sharing some peeks of them soon. Okay, let's see. Would you recommend a mock-up with someone like Vistaprint or similar company to just make one for yourselves to play with? Yeah, I mean, or even just like a local printer, even at Office Max, and just staple it together. I literally have done everything under the sun when it comes to trying something out. I'll just print out a couple pages on my printer at home, staple it together, and write on them and just see how I like it. So it doesn't have to be like a full-on thing unless you want it to be, of course. Vistaprint sometimes can be a little pricey per thing that you get from them, but definitely something to consider, especially if you want to have more of like that full put together feel. But you could totally just like get the pages and just play around with it like that. Let's see, sketches and scrubs. Do you have tips for finding manufacturers? I know what I want to make. I just don't know how to make it myself. Yeah, Alibaba is definitely like a rabbit hole because there's so many options on there. But I mean, at the end of the day, that is kind of the name of the game. I mean, I don't know exactly what type of products you're trying to make, but with anything, it comes with that level of research to figure out. Alibaba is actually a wonderful place, or even AliExpress if you're trying to get something made. The biggest thing I would say is just once you kind of find, maybe if you have a specific idea in your mind and you find a couple of people that are doing that on there, just narrow it down to like 3 of them, reach out in a message and just say like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. If you have a picture, even better, upload that picture just so that they can see what it is you're trying to do. It makes it a lot easier for them to just visualize what your goal is that you want. And then basically just reach out to them, share the details, and then get prices, see how much it is, see what the turnaround time is, and that'll give you a good idea of whether or not it's something you can make happen, if it'll work for you. But I would do that with a couple of companies and then go from there. Typically, they can create just about anything you need. It's just a matter of finding, that right fit for you. But it definitely can happen. Uh-oh, I got somebody peeking in here at me, y'all. You okay? Okay, hold on. I'm almost done, okay? Y'all, this is solo parenting right now week, okay? So lots of balancing acts happening right now. All right, so we're almost done, okay? You wait about 5 more minutes? I promise I'm almost done. Okay, so let's see. Women have a purpose. OTM said, what is your take on making a workbook or a planner journal? I'm not sure what you mean. I love it. I do it for a living. So that's my take. I would say definitely go for it. If you can make it happen. I'm not sure when you're saying workbook or planner or journal. I mean, all of the 3, all of the above, I definitely would go for it. Thank you so much, Ariel. Are you going to bring back the bundle from last year with the candle, blanket, and mug? Okay. So this is as the last thing, maybe to kind of wrap up, unless there's any other questions. Yes, there is going to be a bundle coming. There is also my plan. I am trying to decide right now whether or not I want to do the vision board party this year. I did one last year. I think it went really, really well. But the bundle that I made last year was for the vision board party. So that's what I'm just trying to really decide, basically. But the bundle, I think I will definitely do that again. A lot of people really like that. Candles are also coming back as well. So look out for those. A lot of people really enjoyed those as well. So thanks for asking about that. But yeah, Tiffany, it will be coming back. And my grandmother loved that bundle, y'all, with the blanket. That's like one of her favorite ones. She was asking for it in pink and other colors. So yes, it will definitely be coming back. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything before I go. But thank you all so much. I will save this replay if you are getting on this a little bit late. It was a little laggy here on Instagram, so definitely head over to my YouTube channel to see it. I don't think there was any interruptions except for the first 20 minutes I was talking and didn't realize I had my logo on the screen, but you can hear me just fine. And then you can see the flip through and all of that. But I basically flipped through today the daily planner pages. It is 6 months. It is undated. And I am very excited about it. It's definitely filling the gap for me of what I need as kind of like this cross between my personal life and my business. So I'm very excited. I'm probably going to be using this as my sample because like I said to you all, like I love to create it and then test it out. So this is the one I'm going to be using. But yeah, I just wanted to get on and share that with you all. I'm on here a little bit longer than I thought, but that's always good. That means we're chatting and we're having a good time. I appreciate you getting on with me, and I will see you all very soon. I will be coming back with the weekly flip through soon and all of the details as far as like what to expect for launch next week and everything. So thank you so much. All right. Bye. Or actually, is it bye? I don't even know how to end it now because I haven't been on here so long. All right. There we go. Bye.